brought to you by Dr. Pepper. We're going to go to next week and look at these matchups. I think you know exactly where we're going. Obviously, it's a packed week of games with potentially 4 top 20 matchups. But the biggest one, Ohio State and Eugene, Oregon. What are you expecting with this potentially top 6 matchup, AT?
Well, number one, I expect that crowd to be loud and rowdy. The last time we went out there 2 years ago, it was early, just like it is right now here on the West Coast. But it was raining, and those fans still showed up and showed out as they beat the UCLA Bruins that day pretty in an exciting fashion. I would say for this, when it comes to Oregon, I think when you're playing against Ohio State, the margin of error is very, very thin. It took them a while last night to actually get their offense going. Yeah. But once they got going, Dylan Gabriel, we see him picking defenses apart. Tez Johnson, Evan Stewart, we hope he's going to be okay. He left the ball game last night, got hurt. I think it was a shoulder injury or whatnot. But they're going to have to be on their P's and Q's. Every time they touch the football, they're going to have to be able to put it in the end zone and also take care of it. Dylan Gabriel, 2 interceptions last night. That's not going to fly against Ohio State.
No. So HG talked about how it took them a minute to figure out their rhythm. Do you feel like they had their rhythm in time for the Ohio State matchup, which is obviously a big test for them?
Hey, man, they better, like, possession 1, they got to be ready.
I agree.
They really got to be ready, man, because the ball that we've seen from them, it's frustrating to watch because they are so damn talented. Like, genuinely, whether it's from Dylan Gabriel and his leadership, like, he's been around the block. Like, I did a Dylan Gabriel UCF game in 2021, right? Like, this man's got experience. You mentioned the receivers. I like the tight end Terrence Ferguson, big body there. They have to put it together. They got to put it together early. They need to hope, and I think that they will, that home crowd really sort of gets them going, because if they do start off slow against that Ohio State team, that one could get early quick. And once you fall behind in games like that, we saw it last week with Alabama and Georgia, it's hard to stop it from spilling once it's already fallen out the can. You know what I mean? So
I also think it's important for Oregon offensively. You got to be balanced, man. You got to get Jordan James going. I don't think you can just come out and just say against one of the top defenses in the country, we're just going to be one-dimensional. We're going to pass the ball all over the place. Jordan James has to be an integral part of what they do next week in Eugene.
Let's talk big picture next week. In all of those top 20 games next week, the higher-ranked team will be on the road. Which lower-ranked team do you think has the potential to possibly get an upset?
I'm going LSU.
Yeah.
I'm going LSU. I think they go to Ole Miss. Or they're at home against Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to LSU. I really like them as a football team, and if it wasn't for situational football in week 1 versus the USC Trojans, they would be undefeated right now. Really love how they faced adversity versus South Carolina on the road, came back to win that football game. I like Garrett Nutzmeyer as a quarterback. He's a guy that can stand in that pocket, make every single throw, and also Kyron Lacey at the wide receiver position. I really like them. He's a stud. LSU is known for bringing those guys out and going into the NFL draft and being studs as well. So I like LSU in that matchup.
Yeah, and Christine, I'm going to go with USC over Penn State. I still think Penn State, they looked good that first week against West Virginia and looked suspect against Bowling Green. I don't quite trust that offense going up against that USC defense, and I don't know that they're going to be able to keep pace with USC's offense and Miller Moss. I think that they're in for a big game.